My name's Jim from Proctor.
My name's Katelynn. I'm from Duluth.
The wedding is September 1st of 2019.
So Jim walked into a salon that I was working at, and the salon was really intimate. I knew everybody there. So when he came strolling in, I was like, who's this guy? I had no idea who he was. And then he came up to me and I had to sign him up as a client. And everyone will tell you guys the same story, but I asked him how to spell his name, Jim.
How do you spell your name? And then her friends obviously made fun of her.
Which is super embarrassing because it doesn't get easier than that. And my friends were actually standing next to me and they're like, come on, Katelynn, GYM. Like, really?
And I just thought it was funny. So, and I still give her crap to this day.
So we had this like awkward moment. Right off the bat, it was like really fun and energetic and funny.
From just even the first day, I always wanted to be around her. Even when she was working at the tan salon, it would be the same time every day. 6 o'clock, I'd go hang out just to be with her for a few hours. All I cared about was just going to see her.
So he saw me a few times at the gym after the salon experience.
She was at the gym, she was running, and I knew exactly who she was, and I was just like, I gotta talk to her.
He kind of tried to creep up to me a few times, and I was like, no, like, what are you doing?
And I remember her getting off the treadmill, and I'm like, all right, I gotta find my chance, go talk to her. And then I awkwardly walk up and start talking. And
he was really shy, very soft-spoken and quiet. Which seemed weird to me because he was this big, muscular, like, gym-going dude, and I was like, oh, he's so shy.
So one night we worked out, and then we were talking, and I could tell she was having maybe a little bit tougher day.
I was walking out one day, and he's like, do you want to go to dinner? So I was like, I can't really say no to that, like someone asking me on an old-fashioned date. I love that about him, that he was forward and asked me out, because you don't get that a lot these days. We went to Mexico Lindo, which was like one of my favorite spots in Duluth, so that was already a score for him. And then we took a nice drive down to Canal area and just hung out on the tailgate of his truck and sat by the water.
We just sat there and talked. We talked for hours.
He listened to me. I could just talk, and I felt like I could be myself with him, which was really big for me. I didn't feel like I had to put on a show or act a certain way. Like, he was just very easy to get along with and talk to.
Just how open we both could be, like how comfortable we were. Like, literally, like, told her stuff that probably I didn't tell a lot of people, like, for years. Like, I could just be so comfortable with her.
It was perfect. Like, I couldn't ask for a better date. That's kind of how I knew. I was like, he's a keeper. The more time we spent together, the more I kind of could see and picture myself with him. If there was one moment specifically, it was when I met his family. I think that's like a big part of spending your life with somebody, is knowing their family. And I don't think I could have met better people. I could tell that that's someone I could spend my life with, and people that I could spend my life with.
First time I ever said I love you, we're sitting in my truck at the gym parking lot, and I was getting ready to leave to go up for the winter months of the resort. And I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her, and I was going to do whatever I had to do to get back home, so I could be closer to her, and then do everything I could to marry her.
We planned a trip to go to South Dakota. We had been looking at going just on a trip for fun for a while, and that was just a place we wanted to go.
I already had the ring, and I was telling everybody. Like, Katelynn was the only one that didn't know.
So the first day we got there, we went to just a couple waterfalls, like state parks, and hiked around and stuff.
Got to Rapid City, went and saw Mount Rushmore, kind of drove around. Never actually had the specific place ever planned out. I just knew, I was like, I'm doing it in South Dakota somewhere, and I'll know when the time's right.
On our way back to the place we were staying in the city, we passed Prairie Berry.
And I knew she wanted to go to this winery, and we were passing it, and she was sleeping.
I was sleeping in the car, so Jim was like, hey, don't mean to wake you up, but we're passing Prairie Berry, and I know this is like one of those things that you were like, we have to go here. So I was like, no, yeah, I'm super happy you woke me up. Like, we gotta go here. Like, I've heard awesome things.
I had the ring like hiding in the truck. I thought maybe bring the ring in, but maybe not. And I was like, no, I'll wait.
Jump out of the car, get into the winery. First impression, beautiful. Like, it's up in the hills and beautiful scenery, like absolutely amazing. Gorgeous day. So we started wine tasting and I turned to Jim and I was like, I could get married here.
She was like, I would totally have our wedding here. And I was like, oh, I gotta go get something out of the truck. So I ran out and I grabbed the ring, had my phone.
Then he comes back in and we order some wine and sit down. He goes up to grab our stuff and he's like, I'm about to propose to my girlfriend. Here's my phone. Can you tape this for me?
The waitress got so excited when I asked her to do the video for the engagement. And I told her, I'm gonna give me like 30 seconds. I went and sat down. I was super excited. I was nervous, but I was super excited. Comes
back and he sits down and pulls his chair out, and in that moment I knew what was happening and I had no reaction. Like I buried my head in my hands because I was like, I don't know what to do right now. Like so happy, just so caught off guard. Like I had no idea this was coming.
Like I didn't even have the ring opened yet. Didn't even have the box open and she was just crying and I opened it and more crying. And the people behind us were like, oh, did you say yes? You said yes, right? Yes. I ended up putting it on the wrong hand. Didn't even realize that, but it's okay.
Very special moment. It was perfect. Like he couldn't have done a better job. And it was all on the fly too, which I don't know how, but it worked out so well. And I also found out when I got home that he had gone to my parents' house and asked my dad and my stepmom. He called my mom, who lived in Florida at the time, and asked her and my stepdad. He told everybody at both of our jobs. He even asked my 6-year-old daughter, and she did not say a word. So I'm still to this day like completely surprised about that.
I asked her, I'm like, is it okay if I marry your mom? And she got so, just the facial expression that she had, and she was so excited.
So everybody knew this trip was about this, except for me. I don't know how he pulled it off, so it was obviously meant to be. Jim makes everything an adventure. It doesn't matter if we're having the worst day, the best day, everything is an adventure. Like, and I don't handle stress very well at all. Anybody would tell you that. Jim is so calm, so cool, so collected.
Just how absolutely gorgeous she is. I never tell her enough. Just how lucky I am to have her. Yeah, we see each other every day. We're together every day. We're basically texting it. Like, even when we're at work, we're texting. Just, I miss you. And we just left like an hour ago. She has every bit of my heart. No matter how good of a day, bad of a day, I always just want to come home to her, and she always makes it perfect.
He is going to be the most patient father. We balance each other out in a great way. At any moment in time, he will jump in and be like, hey, just take a break, I got this. So I see him being very patient too with our baby, just as he is with Jordan.
Jordan, I see her as my own. She's a little firecracker, and she absolutely just puts a smile on my face. And I can't wait for our little one to make it one big happy family.
I just want someone in our lives that loves us and supports us and is patient and kind, and that's everything that he is. I couldn't be more thankful to have someone like that in my life. You always tell each other like, oh, I love you. But there's no time that you sit down and you're like, this is why I love you. This is why I want to spend my life with you. Just to be able to tell each other everything, like every reason why we want to spend our lives together and every reason why we love each other. I think on our wedding day, that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
That first look and seeing her walk down the aisle, that's what I absolutely can't wait for. And the moment I say I do, and I know I'll start crying. I'm a very emotional person. I always told her, I'm like, we'll be all right. We're through all the hard stuff we went through, we're gonna end up happy and it's gonna be perfect.